Welcome to PB&J Farms. I'm Papa Brian. This is our gardening on a budget series. Today we're going to be shaping up our beds. What I've already done is taken out the grass. Last week's video was about taking out the grass in our garden spots. This week we are going to shape them up. I'm going to lay down wood chips right here in this pathway. I have laid out the garden, dug down my pathways, and moved the dirt from the pathways to each side. That builds the beds up a little bit. I've also gone out and gotten some raised bed mixes. It's for flowers or vegetables. I've gotten a bag of black cow. Putting in a garden like this is like something you could do out of the trunk of your car, going to a big box store. Okay, it's really expensive if we haul in a bunch of compost from the home and garden vendor. They come and bring a truckload of compost. That's going to be anywhere from $400 to $700 in our area right now, depending on which mix you get. This $7 of $7.50 for a bag of this raised bed mix. The black cow is $5.50, and then we're going to let the plants tell us what they want, and then we'll have something on hand, some blood meal, some bone meal. If the plant's telling us it needs a little of this, a little of that, we can sprinkle a little of this next to it and water that in. So we'll let the plants tell us what they need. We're going to use the material we already have on hand, and that's the dirt that was provided for us. I'm keeping this pretty small to keep the cost down. Also, this is a beginning gardening video. The smaller your area you're taking care of, the higher of a standard you can take care of this area. Next year, if we take care of this area here to a high standard, we can add a row, we can add some length. So I've got a 7-foot by 12-foot space here staked out, 1-foot path in the center. I've took the grass out on the video last week with this grub hoe. Then I came back in with my little weeder and I took out some more roots of these Bermuda grasses that are in this area. I'm gonna have some Bermuda grass creep into this, but remember, this is a small space. This is a small enough space that I can have a zero tolerance policy, come through on my Weeding Wednesdays, and in about 15-20 minutes with a podcast on in the evening when you get home from work, you can get this looking right and keep the weeds out of it. If you see a weed, bend down and pull it. Always just get one of these little hand weeders or a big screwdriver or something so you could go after those little weeds. Okay, because they're gonna come. I probably will border this, but remember, we're on a budget. Okay, if you go out and buy a bunch of lumber, cedar right now is super expensive, so I'll probably border that, and then our plants are going to be, we're not going to be getting into the root zone of that. So if I have to dig out around this and border it later this summer, that'll be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the chips, the wood chips down in the path, open these bags, and lay this stuff out. All right, we've got our beds shaped up and installed. We've got our pathway in. Because we've taken on a smaller footprint here, we're able to do it to a high standard. We're able to put it in timely. We're the first week of April, just right on time, ready for plants. Next, we're going to be covering it We've also, where we took out the grass, we've reduced our waste by composting that grass and that dirt. So that grass and that dirt are going to be able to come back into the garden, minimizing the waste. We've got this small footprint that we're going to be able to take care of at a high standard and maintain our joy. Next video, we're going to talk about the coverings and how much you use and how you plant into them. Covering this, putting God's blanket on it with wood chips or straw or whatever. Like and subscribe if this is the kind of thing you're into, gardening on a budget. So thanks for visiting us today at PB&J Farms.